Today on the spot, we check in with this week's new releases, get a demo of Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 on the Wii, and get the latest word on Puzzle Quest 2. Today on the spot.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Today on the Spot for Tuesday, May 25th. I'm Sophia Tong, and I'm joined by Kevin Van Ord. Hi, Kevin.
I'm not Kevin Van Ord. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're not?
I'm Kevin Van Ord's evil twin.
You do look a little different.
Yeah, you know how you can tell I'm the evil twin?
How?
Because I've got sideburns and a goatee.
Gotcha, but you're still named Kevin.
Yeah, just for the day.
Okay. Well, we had a busy week last week. A lot of us were in Santa Monica. Some of the reviews team was there too. There's this big event, pre-3, like 17 publishers were there to show off their games. So we got to see a lot of stuff, some of which we'll show you guys today, like Tiger Woods, Puzzle Quest 2. But first, let's kick it off with the news.
Hey there, it's your Gamespot news update for Tuesday, May 25th. I'm Brendan Sinclair, substituting for Tor Thorson, who is now officially off the grid. System Wars fanboys may be rioting in the streets with the news today that Insomniac Games is going multi-platform. The developer of Ratchet & Clank today announced that it has signed a deal with EA partners to publish an Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 game. The game has no name or release date yet, but it will be based in an original Insomniac-created universe. But don't worry, Ratchet fans, the studio has said it will work with Sony on exclusive installments of its PS3 franchises Resistance, Fall of Man, and Ratchet & Clank. Sony diehards can also take solace that the PS3 has a slate of exclusives on the way from Sony-owned developers like Guerrilla Games. The studio this week revealed that it is working on Killzone 3, promising more enemy types and a greater variety of environments to keep the Helgen War feeling fresh. Perhaps even more interesting is that the game will run in eye-popping stereoscopic 3D. While Sony did not announce a release date for its highly anticipated sci-fi shooter, Microsoft did. Halo Reach, likely the last Bungie-developed installment in the series, will go on sale around the world September 14th. The game will follow a squad of 6 Master Chief-like Spartan soldiers as they try to protect Reach's human inhabitants from a relentless onslaught by the Covenant's army of religious fanatics. The recently finished open beta for Halo Reach suggests there is plenty of interest in the title, as some 2.7 million Xbox 360 gamers took part in the multiplayer mayhem. That's a whole lot of teabags. That's your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, May 25th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
Thanks for the update, guys, and now let's get you caught up with everything that's coming out this week on new releases.
Nintendo leads the week's releases both figuratively and literally with the Sunday launch of Super Mario Galaxy 2. Picking up where the critically adored original left off, Super Mario Galaxy 2 sees the return of Yoshi, a wealth of new power-up suits, and dozens of challenging new levels. The Nintendo plumber's influence will be felt throughout the week, as Tuesday sees a 1-2 punch of combat racers that owe a debt to the seminal Super Nintendo spin-off Mario Kart. Activision's multi-platform racer Blur ditches the cuddly characters in favor of more realistic tracks, but there's no mistaking the assortment of power-ups and weapons strewn throughout the game's numerous courses. Meanwhile, Sony brings the Little Big Planet motto of Play, Create, Share to the genre with Mod Nation racers for the PSP and PlayStation 3. As the motto suggests, Mod Nation lets players build and customize racetracks, racers, and vehicles, as well as share them with others using a PlayStation network. Finally, THQ rings the closing bell on the month's barrage of new releases with UFC Undisputed 2010. The publisher's first follow-up to last year's breakthrough hit will feature more than 100 league fighters, as well as commentary from ringside staples Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg. THQ has also introduced a new sway and posture system to enhance players' abilities to defend and deliver coup de grace attacks, as well as incorporate new moves from the Sambo, Karate, and Greco-Roman wrestling disciplines. For further details on the week's games, visit GameSpot's new releases page. Release dates are based on retailer listings and are subject to change.
So that was the new releases. Sophia, I didn't know that you were such a big Tiger Woods fan.
I'm not really a Tiger Woods fan. I don't mind golf though. I'm really bad at it, but I'm more like a mini putter kind of person.
You heard it here first. Sophia Tong does not mind golf.
That's not mind golf. It's actually a harder sport than you think. At first I used to make fun of it, people in the pants and the shoes and carrying clubs around. I didn't think it was an actual sport, but there's actually a lot of work involved.
Yeah, I went golfing one time. It was actually a stressful day.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think the Wii version is nearly as stressful. And we got a demo at last week's EA3, so let's check it out. Hey everyone, Sophia here at EA's Pre-3 event. I'm joined by Ryan Simmons, product manager on Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11. So welcome, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited to show you guys what's new in Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11.
All right, so what are you guys showing off today? Let's jump right in.
Okay, so last year in Tiger Woods PGA Tour 10, we introduced the Wii Motion Plus controller. It had great success. It was actually the highest rated sports game in the history of the Wii. And what we've done is made that even better this year by adding more advanced Wii Motion Plus controls, which now the Wii Motion Plus controller is going to measure the angle of your swing, and also it's going to measure the point of contact on the ball. So if you hit the ball off the toe of the club, off the heel of the club, it's going to know that, and the ball is going to behave accordingly. And it's going to be so accurate now that you can even miss the ball altogether.
All right, let's see the game in action then.
Sure. Also, one of the new features this year is the Ryder Cup, which is an event that occurs every other year, and it's a competition between the U.S. and Europe. And it pits the teams, they golf in teams against each other. So it adds an element to golf that you usually don't get, because golf's an individual sport. So the Ryder Cup functionality brings in team play. Adds a new element to the game. You got to play the strategy a little bit different, so we're really excited about that. And also, it mimics the entire Ryder Cup experience, where it's 3 days long, and you have foursomes, four ball, and match play, and all that functionality is in the game, so you can play out just like in real life. So where we're at now is we're on the course Celtic Manor, which is the home of the Ryder Cup this year. And you can see on the first hole we're set up. And I'll just talk you through some of this, everything else that's going on. So also new this year, in addition to the swing mechanics I just talked about, is the true view, point of view, which this shows you. So traditionally you've seen the golfer from a third person point of view. This puts you in a first person point of view, so it's as if you're actually standing on the tee, right? And you're gonna aim the same way as you would in real life. So the first person point of view also ties into the swing mechanics in the way of what I'm about to show you here is whenever you go to hit the ball, it lines you up just as if you're hitting the ball in real life, right? With the new mechanics, you can also see it's a one-to-one relationship with the club. So when I turn my wrist over, you can see the club act accordingly. I'm going to go ahead and hit a couple shots here to show you the feedback you get on your swing from the inside to outside mechanics that it reads. So here I'm going to do an inside to outside swing. And you can see in the bottom right of the screen how the ball is going off to the right according to how I swung. So the other way, I'll just go the other direction from an outside to inside swing. Swing feedback's in the corner. So what this does is gives you a really immersive experience, as if you're actually on the course. That's what we're all about, is giving you a true to life experience in the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and play out the rest of this hole here. So let's see if I can hit a really good shot. Oh, just like real life, a big slice. So the other thing to mention here is this is a setting that allows, it's tailored more to the hardcore golfers, someone that really wants a golf, kind of like a golf simulator in their home. You can always change the settings though. So say I invite a friend over that hasn't played before, we can change the settings for him to make it easier, and then I can play in these settings since I play all the time. I like the more challenging settings. So from here I'll go ahead and play out the rest of this hole.
How's this affecting your game in real life?
It actually makes me a better golfer. The thing I like to tell people is that the game makes you think through all the elements that go into your golf swing and when you're playing. Things such as your lie in the rough, the wind. It makes you think through everything, and then you're going to hit the ball accordingly.
Should be happy with this approach.
So other features on top of this is popular features from the past of online play with tournaments and the GamerNet. All that is still included in the game. On top of that, you can take the game modes from Ryder Cup and play multiplayer online. So foursomes, 4-ball, and match play is available online now. And also, disc golf is online, and you can play a multiplayer simultaneous disc golf online this year.
All right, great. So when is the game coming out?
Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11 on the Wii comes out in North America on June 8th and worldwide on July 2nd.
Great, thank you so much for your time. And that was our look at Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11, and be sure to check back on the Gamespace for more coverage.
Sophia Tong is everywhere. We are moving from Sophia Tong to more Sophia Tong. This time she is going to take a look at Puzzle Quest 2.
Hey everyone, Sophia here in Santa Monica. I'm joined by Steve Faulkner, lead designer on Puzzle Quest 2. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
So tell us about Puzzle Quest 2. It's obviously a sequel. Yeah.
Well, it's really a return to form with Puzzle Quest 1. We've taken everything that we really enjoyed about the first game and everyone else enjoyed about the first game, and we've evolved it. It'll be instantly familiar to people who played the first game, but now, rather than just taking place across a big world map, you're down in the dungeon with the monsters, fighting with the same old puzzle battle, but there's a lot of new things going on in there as well.
Yeah, I got to see some of the changes now, like the worldview. You can actually see your character walking around. What are some other changes that you guys have made?
Well, we switched out a couple of gems in the game because we found that experience and gold, well, you've been given them at the end of the combat anyway, so we didn't really need those. We've put in a new mana gem. And the biggest change is we put in a thing called the action gem. It's a fist, and when you match these fists, it powers up and activates a weapon. So it's 3 ways of damaging people in combat now. You've got skulls, you've got spells, and you've got weapons. Extra way of damaging people. It's one way of hurting people. It's more fun.
And there's also 4 different classes now. Can you go over each of them?
Yeah, we have 4 different classes. We had 4 different in the first game as well, but they're new classes for this one. There's the Barbarian, the Sorcerer, the Assassin, and the Templar. And they owe their design kind of to MMO classes. You've got the Templar, who's the tank, the Barbarian, who's kind of a generalist, the Sorcerer, who controls the board, and the Assassin, who's a real damage dealer.
Oh, so what's the story in Puzzle Quest 2? Like, how do you get started?
Okay, the first thing a character does in Puzzle Quest 2 is he rolls up in the town of Valoran, and he finds that bad stuff's been happening in town. It's a pretty cliched fantasy story. The first thing you do is fight a bunch of rats and go. But it all takes place in this dungeon in Valoran. A demon has kind of woken up in the dungeon and he's starting to try to take over the town. You've got to work your way down through the dungeon and defeat the demon. Real classic stuff, but it gives this wonderful old nostalgic feel of the old dungeon crawler.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of mini games that have been included, so can you go over some of that?
We've got 8 different mini games in there now. Now you don't have to play any mini game to get through the story. You can just play puzzle combats all the way through if you want. But for those people who felt like they needed a bit of a change up from puzzle combat after puzzle combat, you can now pick locks, you can break down doors, you can disarm traps. Everybody's favourite is the looting game. When you come across a chest in the dungeon, you can actually pick loot from the chest. You play this little mini game and you get all this cool stuff at the end. It's like Santa's sleigh overturned and gave you all these items. It's really good fun.
And how long is the game going to be, you think, to get to go through the main storyline?
If someone just does a quick speed run through the game, we figure it's going to take them 20 to 30 hours. There's a ton of gameplay. If you want to do every single thing in the game, I think there's easily 50, maybe 60 hours in there if you want to do everything. If you want to play a run through on every single class and do everything though, we'll see you sometime next year.
All right, so what consoles or platforms is it coming out on, and when is the release date?
Okay, we've got Xbox Live Arcade and Nintendo DS coming out. The Nintendo DS release date is June 22nd. Xbox Live Arcade is around about then sometime, but we're saying early summer at the moment. Well, we've just announced also the PC version of the game and also mobile, iPhone, iPad versions of the game.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for your time, Steve.
You're welcome.
And that was our look at Puzzle Quest 2, so be sure to check back on our Gamespace for more coverage.
All right, now it's time for your favorite part of the show. I hope your lucky number is 3 because I've got 3 shirts to give away. What shirt do you ask? Well, it says Rock Band 2010 on it. I got 3 of these to give away. These are slim fit, extra large, excellent shirts. I've also got 3 games to give away, and you want to know what game? It's Green Day Rock Band. So I've got a 360 copy, a PS3 copy, and a Wii copy. So if you want to win a shirt or a game, all you need to do is answer this question. What is the name of Green Day's biggest hit and only top 5 hits? If you think you know the answer, send us an email. You'll send it to onthespot@gamespot.com, or you can click the green button over to the right that says Answer Trivia. If you think you know the answer, answer, and you can win a shirt, a game, both awesome.
All right, so that about wraps up another episode of Today on the Spot. Be sure to tune in on Thursday where we have our last installment for Video Game History Month. And that's it for now. I'm Sophia Tong.
I'm Kevin Van Ord.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Sophia Tong proves that she's all over the place, and I'm going to do this again because that was really silly.